this week, and he's gonna be our starter this week. And my expectation is that we don't throw 10 picks.
Yeah, that would be a wise edict from head coach Mike McDaniel. And the reason that it was even a question was right out of the gates. And the reporter almost asked it apologetically. Like, in journalism, you're told to never assume anything. Is Tua still your starting quarterback? McDaniel's the guy who said after the game, everything is on the table. And it didn't really stand out because McDaniel has this habit, which is refreshing when they're winning and annoying as hell when they're losing, of just kind of filibustering his way through and long answers. But he said everything is on the table after Tua Tagovailoa's 3-pick performance on Sunday. So it's a fair question. You don't have to make excuses for asking a fair question. Is Tua still your quarterback? You said everything's on the table. Everything. What does that mean? Everything. What's not on the table? Nothing. So just the fact that he even went there, it just tells you they've reached a level of exasperation with the situation, as they should. They're 1-6. And it's almost like Tua, there were times where it's like he's just throwing it up for grabs and doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, the one from his own end zone was like, I'm about to get hit. Somebody, and just, I mean, it's this panic. It's like, the thing for me with both these guys, right now, less is more. Stop getting stuck in these press conferences. And I saw the one from Sunday after the game. And like you said, it's like a pause in between. And it's like, this guy, and, and you don't really say anything. And then you look, and after, you said a lot. And even Tua after the game, where he talks about he's trying to bring guys along and also trying to, play the way hey, I didn't play well today. I got to play better next week. As much as everybody hates those answers, that's the simple truth. When you start getting in here, like, I hated Tua saying that, like, as I'm trying to bring guys along. What does that mean? You're not playing well. So are you trying to bring guys along to not play well? Or are you just being a normal leader, doing what you have to do, which first starts with your performance? For Mike McDaniel, hey, we're not going to make any rash decisions. We'll go back and watch the film. Yes, we can't turn the ball over. We're not going to say anything or make any decisions Sunday after the game. But both these guys, I think, with the pressure, not winning, they get stuck in these press conferences, and they just talk too much. They just say too many things in it.
I agree with you completely. And this is the lowest point that the Mike McDaniel regime has experienced. And I just wonder where it's going to go from here. The storm clouds seem to be gathering over McDaniel and GM Chris Grier. The reports emerged from NFL media on Monday that no changes are expected at this time. Well, if not now, when? But, the other side of the coin is this. Stephen Ross is the guy who allegedly offered Brian Flores $100,000 for each loss in 2019. And I know that Ross says it was a joke. I still am searching for the punchline to that very funny joke of I'll give you $100,000 for each game you lose, at a time when they were trying to get themselves in position to draft Joe Burrow. But when you have accepted the fact that you are easing your body into the hot bath of suck, it's good to lose. It's a good business decision. And the NFL hates that conversation. They want to have a complete and total firewall between regular season standings and what that means for the draft. Because the draft is this mystical, magical sorting hat ritual that we never talk about how that team got the first pick. All that matters is they got the first pick. Yeah, and there's a way to engineer getting a better pick. And that is if you're willing to endure the cultural risk. And there are coaches who are firm believers that once you entertain the idea of deliberately losing in your building, you cannot get that infection out of it. But we're talking about a guy who's already allegedly gone down that path. And I may have heard him say one time at a league meeting, sometimes you just got to take your lumps. Maybe this is one of those times. You're just going to take your lumps because with each additional loss, the Dolphins are in a better position to get a true franchise quarterback next year. That may be the easiest explanation. He's not making a move because 1-6 becomes 1-7, becomes 1-8, becomes eventually the first overall pick in the draft.
Yeah, and I'm just so happy throughout my career. I never took that long, hot bath of suck. That sounds miserable. I've never heard that before until you just said that right now. But you're right. Like there's an excitement that comes because when you do get the number one pick, no one goes back and is like, "Oh man, the season was so bad." Everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, we got the number one pick." Like you love that part of it, and I think for some franchises that's what they become known for is getting the top one pick or top three pick in the draft every year. And then the only thing we talk about that team is we want to see if the guy pans out. So yeah, there's something to it. And I think for Miami now, those few years that they have Flores 2 winning seasons, the Mike McDaniel beginning of his era, that's really been it for Miami the last 20, 25 years of really having excitement around this organization, around this team. So I think this is just disappointing for them to be back in this kind of era for them of maybe finding a new coach, maybe go like it really sucks for them to be right back here.
I don't think it's maybe at this point by week 1 of next year. The question is, will Stephen Ross do an in-season firing? He's fired 4 coaches. He's fired 2 of them during the season. They've got, and look, if no change is going to be made now, that means the next 2 games are status quo because they go Sunday at Atlanta, Thursday visit from the Ravens. Not even the Dolphins, among the most dysfunctional organizations historically, at least in the last 20 years, would fire the coach on a Monday with a game on a Thursday, I think. But if any teams would, Dolphins, Jets, Browns, Titans, those are the 4 that would do it.
Okay. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.